I like wine. That's pretty much what brought me into wine. I like the flavor, like the culture of wine. A lot of nice people associated with wine. So it's an age-old tradition. Goes back many generations, back to the Romans, the Persians.
And the people that you meet at the winery all have something in common. You have a passion for wine. You enjoy it. It's great. Just hanging out, drinking wine,
a lot
talking.
friendlier than people not drinking wine.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like the way that people tie the wines in with aesthetics, whether that be art or whether that be music or just the concept of getting people together.
It's a way to do something truly unique that fulfills a creative sense, but it also helps create a sense of community. And it's fun.
The person who are interested in wine are person who, you know, socially will look for everything. I mean, you know, wine is a kind of art.
They don't call them art and wine festivals for nothing. I think it's a good mix. That the idea of just strolling around and sipping wine and looking at art, I think it's just a natural fit.
Wine is the stuff of life, right?
It is a sort of entertainment. I won't say it's an art form, but it's a form of entertainment, and you get to meet a very broad range of people.
It's interesting just to look at different people that arrive at an event, to talk to them, to share your experiences with the different wines, and to do the tasting together.
It is fun industry, yeah. Like I say, how much fun can you have with anything else? You know, I mean, making wine, you can't go wrong.
In 1972, my father, George Cooper, who was a research test pilot at NASA Ames, was getting ready to retire, and his first project was to raise some Cabernet Sauvignon, and he planted a 1-acre vineyard in front of his house. And as my sister says, this is just one of Dad's projects that got out of hand.
We made bootleg alcohol in high school, so I've been doing this for a long time. You know, the opportunity to make such an intriguing beverage and, you know, not really have a real job, it's fascinated me for a long time.
I came to it through my partner, Dan, who should be back any moment, who's the distiller and major partner in the company. I've been making wine for almost 30 years, Santa Cruz Mountain Vineyard. And so Dan and I became close friends, and I came to it just from hanging out with him and also just being fascinated at this whole other level of subtle smells and blends, much more minute than, say, in the wine business.
Just a hobby run amok, you know. Just a friend of mine had some Pinot Noir and says, let's make a barrel of wine. So that was about 92 we did that. And it went from 1 barrel to 2 barrels to 3 barrels to 4 barrels, and now look at us, you know, here we are.
Well, everyone has their own, you know, feeling what a great glass of wine is, but you know, you have to look at the color and the nose is what the smell is, and then the taste of it in your mouth, and then the finish is after it's in your mouth for a while and you swallow it, and what's left in your mouth. And that's where we based our name on, is a perfect finish.
Right now we have our stage Chardonnay here, and also right now we making. I say we making because I work here. The Pinots. The Pinot is pretty good stuff right now.
I've sort of, when I first started drinking wine, I was into whites, Chardonnays, and Sauvignon Blancs. Now I much prefer reds. It's sort of like a progression because there's so much more to a red wine. There's so much more going on, so much more character, so much more avenues in the wine.
I look for a wine that when I sell it, you know, you could take it home and you can drink it. It'll be smooth enough and ready enough. We don't sell wines or make wines that are, you know, you got to wait 5 years for. They're ready now.
Fine wine has a magic balance, not too much of any one thing. Long, gentle, beautiful.
In a great glass of wine, yeah. One that tastes good. I mean, it's like, what's your favorite wine? Probably the last thing I drank.
As far as California wines go, I don't think there's any other country in the world that can outclass these wines.
The region right here, Montebello Ridge, is a world-renowned region. The Cabernet that grows here in this terroir, this earth, has been touted as some of the best Cabernet growing regions in the world.
hear a lot about Napa and other parts of California, but we have a really great wine region here, right here where we live, and it's nice to see them doing well and promoting themselves.
The future?
Yeah.
I think it just continues on and on and on.
Well, right now in the Santa Cruz Mountains, there's 77 wineries. 10 years ago, there was like maybe 10 or 15. That's how much it's exploded. So the future, I think it's just going to be crazy. It's going to be more.
They're still experimenting and finding the best places to grow certain varietals. I think you're going to see more Spanish varietals grown here. But I think the sky's the limit, actually.
I think you're going to see the economic pressure to make value wines that taste good, that don't cost a lot, alternate closures because they make sense. But I also see people that are committed to making wines on a very high quality level that also sort of skirt the stylistic edge, which also means they're generally be fairly expensive relative to popularly priced wines. But that's always what makes it so interesting.
I think the California wines are great. I think you're going to see California wines taking over the market more and more. I mean, we are who we are. We're in this little area here. I'm only farming a few acres, and I'm not going to do, I'll do maybe 2,000, 2,400 cases a year. I'm just small, and it's just me. I'm not going to get any bigger because then you lose what you have. I don't want to do that. I like to do what I'm doing and work by myself and just have fun with it. But I think the California wine industry is going to come on real strong more and more.